In Futurama, we actually learn a lot about Fry's family. There's entire episodes dedicated to his parents, his brother, the professor, his dog, his grandparents, or great-grandparents since he is his own grandfather. He even time traveled and met his ancestor from the American Revolution. But in this video, I'm not talking about any of that. In this video, I'm going to try and convince you that Fry is actually related to, or at a minimum connected to, the Griffins. And you guys are not going to like me because this is actually part 1 where I don't think I fully fleshed it out. But in part 2, the video coming out next week, I think I can pretty much nail it down. But this video has to go first in order to make that video make sense. Also, real quick guys, I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers, and if you guys could help me out with that, it would be greatly appreciated. So what sparked this theory? Absolutely nobody asked. I was like, well, Fry has orange hair, and Lois and her brother also have orange hair. And I wish I was joking, but here we are. But look, even though this is damning evidence, I actually do have some other evidence to back this up from both the series. First off, Fry is Irish, and the basic evidence I have for that, other than his hair, is actually not all that great, but we can infer this from a couple of more things. 1, he lives in New York, where according to a study done by the Washington Post, 12.9% of the population can trace their ancestry back to Ireland. He has a whole episode dedicated to him finding a 7-leaf clover in The Luck of the Fryrish. When he died, they played bagpipes at his funeral in The Sting, and I believe that his funeral is the only one where they do this, but I could be wrong, so let me know if I am in the comments down below. But it really seems like we're supposed to at least come to the conclusion that he is of Irish descent. But now moving on to his connection to the Griffins, Lois and her brother probably have some Irish ancestry, but I didn't really have that much to go on since it's never really questioned in the show whether or not Carter is her biological father, which sort of sucked since this idea actually started off with Lois's mother having an affair with Fry's father. And as fun as that would have been, it just didn't hold up. I mean, we have pretty strong confirmation that Lois's mom definitely cheated on her dad, but I have no evidence that Fry's dad cheated on his mom. I don't want to rule this out as a possibility with Fry's dad being in the military, but I just don't really have enough to go on. But where there was no evidence really of that, there is actually a little bit more for Peter. See, like Fry, Peter is actually Irish. And this is guaranteed since we find out in Peter's 2 dads that Peter's biological father actually lives in Ireland. So we do have some connections with their ancestors coming from the same place, so there could be some ties. And more than likely, some of Peter's extended family might have landed in New York while immigrating to America and just stayed there. But actually, more than likely, he will be more closely related to Peter's father, Francis, since he was also of Irish descent and his ancestors definitely immigrated to America, possibly immigrating through New York City, making it actually more likely that Fry would be related to the Griffins than the McFinnegans. And this would definitely be possible since, according to a US News article, 16.4% of people in Rhode Island are actually of Irish descent. And just in case you guys didn't know, Peter's mom got pregnant with Peter on a trip to Ireland and then came back to America and met Francis, and Francis basically just raised Peter as his own son. And whether he did or did not know this fact is kind of out there, but he really never treated Peter any differently than any of Peter's other siblings, which Peter does actually have quite a bit of, so good on him for that. Oh, also, another fun fact, that means the fact that McFinnigan and Peter look similar mean nothing, since Peter's sister and Brosner also look like Peter, meaning most of those genes that made Peter look like Peter actually came from his mom. So another fun fact there. But more than likely, they're just distant cousins. But I do actually have one more parallel that I would like to bring up that can link Fry to the Griffins. So Fry is his own grandpa, and Peter is Stewie's descendant. Now, what do I mean by that? So for those of you that have lived under a rock in this world, a quick rundown here is Fry goes back in time and gets his grandpa killed, then becomes his own grandpa, and Stewie goes back in time, getting his ancestor Leonardo da Vinci killed, and replaces him, becoming his own ancestor and making Stewie his own descendant. Time travel sucks, guys. And now this is actually going to play a much bigger part in next week's video, so if you want to know exactly what makes Fry the chosen one, where I go more in depth on all of this, and I might genuinely confirm that Stewie is Fry's direct ancestor, but it's just way too much to explain in this video, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know when that video goes up next week. But the general idea there is Stewie is actually Fry's ancestor. But for now, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Fry is actually related to Lois through Babs cheating on him? And if you have evidence for that, please share it with me. Or do you guys think that he could be related to at least one of Peter's dads? Or do you just want to call out the fact that I made this video simply to justify the next one? And I haven't really proved anything just yet. And if that's the direction you want to go down in the comments, I really can't blame you, because the real sting is in next week's video. I just had to get this video up first in order to kind of make that video make a little bit more sense. So please let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. While you're down there, please remember to hit that like, comment, subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video.